This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Gundy joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Happy Tuesday, the Jason Walker Show. Here on a beautiful Tuesday. Little rainy, little windy, not much wind. Not raining right now, but it's rained a lot. And hope you are having a good day as well as we get going on this Tuesday. Great conversation coming up with a young lady by the name of Ali Whaley. Now, I met her Saturday night at the Sankey Drive-In Rodeo. Interesting story. She's from Great Britain, but she's traveled all over the country and all over the world. And she's writing a blog. She's writing a book. And she's a sweetheart. You're going to enjoy this conversation coming up with her. Also, baseball. Yep, Mike Gundy apologizing. We shouldn't have to, probably, because that's the way society is. And a lot more coming up here on the Jason Walker Show today. On this day in history still to come, and also the walk-off. I knew what I was trying to get to. So there you go. Anyway, so let's get started with the more just disturbing news that the 75th Shoto American Legion Rodeo will not happen 4th of July weekend. Why? Well, that's because the Teton County Board of Health voted Monday unanimously not to hold the rodeo. We can have thousands of people show up in Helena for a rally, protest, whatever you want to call it. But we can't have a rodeo. And I'm just dumbfounded. And I understand what the protests are about. I know what they're all about. I get all that. And I know that we're not having rodeos because of, quote unquote, COVID-19. But at what point are we allowed to go back to being as close to normal in the state of Montana as possible? It's just frustrating. And it doesn't get any better. Day by day, look, there's less than 100 active cases in the state of Montana. Here's the deal. If you're in those, well, it's not even in it because anybody can get it. If you don't feel comfortable, then keep your butt home. Don't go if you don't want to. That's the great thing. You have freedom to not go to the rodeo or to the grocery store or wherever. You don't have to go out. It's a great thing about this country. It gives you the freedom to make your own decisions. You know, when I was at the drive-in rodeo the other night, there were 4 guys riding. And I talked to a few of them. Well, every one of them. And the consensus was the same. Like, they were excited to get back on horses because they haven't been allowed to. They were excited to just have fun because they haven't been allowed to. But it's just frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. In Montana, we have less than, I think, 75 cases. And we can't have a rodeo next month. Or August, or this month. And when do we get to have a life, Governor Bullock? And it's getting more and more frustrated. Because these guys that I was talking to on Saturday, it's their livelihoods. That's how they travel across the country doing rodeos. What they love, it's their job. And I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing about it. You know what? I'm tired of talking about it. I just want to have life. We get to have baseball games. Why can't we have rodeos? It's a simple question. I'm happy the Legion kids are playing. They're 16 to 19-year-old kids. They're kids playing a game. Okay? They're not making money. This is not their livelihood. This is what they do in the summer because they love the sport of baseball. It's what I did in high school. It's great. But that's not their livelihood. Okay? For Sage Newman, that's his livelihood. Ty Erickson, that's his livelihood. Okay? But whatever. Governor Bullock thinks he knows best. Health departments, we can have baseball games, we can have protests, but we can't have rodeo. And I know this show is not all about rodeo. We talk other sports, but this is a big, big, big deal in the state of Montana and across the country. And I've reached out to Governor Bullock. Guess what? They didn't respond. You scared to come on the show? Instead of getting softball questions from our media, are you going to be scared to come on this show and get legit questions? Don't be scared. But he won't. He won't come on. I'm not going to call him any names. John. I'm going to call him Governor. I'm going to ask him tough questions. Instead of the softball questions he gets fed in his briefings. And I love our statewide media, for the most part. But they're not asking tough questions. Anyway, so no Shoto Rodeo. Shoto Rodeo, no go. We're going to talk some baseball stuff in a little bit. Still to come here on the Jason Walker Show. So Mike Gundy, yesterday, there was a big flop, or not flop, but big deal because Mike Gundy, the head coach at Oklahoma State, over the weekend was photographed fishing on vacation wearing an OAN shirt. Stands for One American News. It's an up-and-coming news network who, by the way, asks really tough questions and legit questions. But Coach Gundy came under some heat because he was wearing an OAN shirt. So Chuba Hubbard, star player on his team, tweeted out, "I will not do anything for Oklahoma State until we have changes." So the team some of the team met with Coach Gundy yesterday. And this is how you start to settle differences, my friends. Okay? This is yesterday. Mike Gundy, Chuba Hubbard, after a meeting. It's 51 seconds. Just watch and listen.
In light of today's tweet with the T-shirt I was wearing, I've met with some players and realized it's a very sensitive issue with what's going on in today's society. And so we had a great meeting and made aware of some things that players feel like that can make our organization, our culture even better than it is here at Oklahoma State. And I'm looking forward to making some changes, and it starts at the top with me, and we got good days ahead.
I'll start off by first saying that I went about it the wrong way by tweeting. I'm not someone that, has to, tweet something to make change. I should have went to him as a man, and I'm more about action. So that was bad on my part. But from now on, we're gonna focus on bringing change, and that's the most important thing.
All right, so that's Chuba Hubbard and Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State coach and star player. That's how you settle. That's how you start to make changes. You resolve things like men. You talk. Oh, but wait, Jason, you were just sexist because you said resolve things like men. That's how you resolve things human to human, is by talking. Now, Mike Gundy came out today, and by the way, Mike Gundy has been a fan of OAN for quite some time. So he talked back in May with reporters that he was a fan of the show, or of the network, One American News, OAN. And it's making headway. It's not CNN, it's not Fox, it's not MSNBC, it's not any of these big ones, but it's getting there. But so Gundy comes out today and says that he didn't realize that OAN was so against Black Lives Matter, which they're not really. But there were people that wanted him fired. And it's one of the most ridiculous things I've heard. I mean, like I said yesterday, if Mike Gundy had been wearing a CNN shirt, none of this would have been big news. Would have been news at all. But because he was wearing a conservative network T-shirt, oh, well, he's got to be canceled. Because that's where we're at. Cancel culture today. Everybody's got to, we can't do anything at all. You can't wear, you got to be careful of the shirt you wear or the hat you wear. Look, I'm not condoning, if somebody's wearing something derogatory or racist or sexist, yeah, that's wrong. You know what I think we should do? This is since we're in the society of cancel culture. Here's what we do. Everybody wants something canceled because it offends them. Can we get rid of all the Grizzly shirts? Can we get rid of all Grizzly paraphernalia? That offends me as a Bobcat. So we just need to get rid of it. No more Grizzly stuff because it offends me as a Bobcat fan. You see how ridiculous that sounds, people? That's how dumb cancel culture is. I didn't like the shirt that he was wearing, so he has to get fired. Come on, people. Seriously, you know what? If you're a Helena High fan or a Capital fan, I think you should have everybody else on your side cancel out and cause for, blackouts and canceling of the other school. CMR, GFH, all the billing schools, let's do it. Missoula. And that goes for Grizz fan too. Because as a Grizzly, I'm sure, me wearing a Bobcat shirt offends you, so we should get rid of Bobcat shirts too, right? Or anything with Bobcats on it. That's how dumb this cancel culture is right now. It's how moronic and idiotic you are. Not all of you. Some of you can actually be logical and say, no, we're sounding idiots. So let's just stop the cancel culture crap. It's so frustrating because, you know what? Real change, like Coach Gundy said, it starts at the top by talking. But again, nobody wants to listen, especially mostly on a certain side, because if you don't share their opinion, then you're a misogynist, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're sexist. I mean, and they want you done with everything. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to listen anymore. And this goes back to what I said. Mike Gundy has a choice on what he supports politically. If people are okay with, like, seriously, if he had worn a CNN shirt, this isn't news. But because he wore a conservative show or conservative network shirt, he needs to get fired. And again, that's how dumb it sounds. It sounds just as dumb as you think it sounds. And I use this, and I'll use this until the day I die. I am a Bobcat. I'm offended by Grizz shirts. Let's take them all away. And anybody who wears a Grizz shirt needs to get fired. That's how dumb you guys sound when you talk about cancel culture. I didn't think I was going to get this fired up yet. Man. All right, we're going to have some fun next. Jason Walker Show. We are going to chat with a sweet young lady who I met over the weekend at the Sankey Ranch at the drive-in rodeo outside Joliet. She is from Great Britain, and she's traveled the world writing about differences and of equestrians events. And she got to experience her first rodeo, her first drive-in rodeo. She got to experience a lot. And she is writing a blog, alicewhaley.com, and we'll have a book out when she's done with her travels. But she will join us next here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Ali Whaley is coming up in just a couple of seconds. Don't forget to sign up at Green Meadow Country Club. Become a member. Great food. Great soup specials all week long. Also, the food is one thing, and it's really, really good. They have revamped the menu, and it's fantastic. So, the lounge is great, the bar area is great, the dining room is great, but so is the club shop and the pro shop. You go in there, you have multitude of different. They have so many new items for 2020. Not just golf clubs, but clothes as well. And you need to check it out. Get out to Green Meadow Country Club and tell them you heard it on the Jason Walker Show. Sign up, become a member. Let's golf together. Maybe not this weekend. I think I have to stain my fence this weekend. But we'll get out golfing. Join me we'll have lunch. Let's go have lunch. You and I, we'll go. Green Meadow Country Club, proud sponsor of the Jason Walker Show. Coming right back, Ali Whaley joins us next. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Dinner's Done Right is open and ready for you to stop in and stock up for the summer. How does a Big Sky flank steak sound? Or a sage roasted pork loin? June's menu also includes a Parmesan tilapia and a variety of fantastic chicken cuisines and more. And if that's not enough, Dinner's Done Right's Grab and Go Soup, Salad, and Nacho Bar is back as well, with one exception. The delightful staff now will make it for you. And don't forget deliveries to Bozeman and Great Falls on select days. Stop in at 1212 Cedar Street in Helena or visit dinnersdoneright.com.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta Eye Comfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Fired up, but ready to have some fun. Here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, this segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. I told you this a couple of weeks ago. My wife wanted a new table, so she went to Rucker's, picked it up, or picked one out, and got it. We got it delivered. It's awesome. So I should take a video of this because it's like magic. I don't know how it works, but it's magic. So the leaf is actually built into the table. So when you open it, it comes out. I'm so good at describing stuff, right? Oh, man. Anyway, go to Rucker's, get this table, and it's awesome. 4 chairs and a bench. She said, I don't want 6 chairs, I want a bench. And they said, okay. All right. Our first guest, joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, is a young lady from Great Britain. And it's a sweetheart. She's traveling the world, writing about equestrian differences, people, lives that deal with horses. And it's awesome. And she's a sweetheart, and she joins us now on the Jason Walker Show. Her name is Ali Whaley. All right, joining us from the Sankey Ranch outside Joliet, Ali Whaley. Now, okay, so is it Alice or Elise?
Alice.
It is Alice.
And it's very much a wonderland that I'm in.
That is perfect. So I met you a couple of nights ago outside Joliet, Montana, hanging out at the Sankey Family Ranch for Drive-In Rodeo #2, which is when you sit in Great Britain and you hear of rodeo, Ali, you don't think of Drive-In Rodeo, I'm sure, do you?
No, I don't. Well, that Drive-In Rodeo was the second one I've ever been to. The last Sankey Drive-In Rodeo was quite literally my first rodeo. So coming here, I didn't know what to expect. We don't have rodeo in the UK, so it was really an exciting experience for me.
You call yourself an equestrian travel writer, and I love the way you phrase that. It fits perfect based on what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I think what I'm doing is, it's not quite just equestrian writing, because I'm interested in the people and the stories, the food, the culture, just the whole world that comes with working with horses. So that's why whenever I go to any given place, I work with the people and I work with the horses, because I'm trying to tell the stories of working horses in 2020. What does that mean? And it's not just differences in tack, it's differences in culture.
One big difference, Ali, is in equestrian, you have the English saddle and you have the Americanized saddle. Which do you prefer?
Ooh, I'm going to throw you a curveball and say that my favorite is the Uruguayan saddle.
Oh, why is that?
Well, it's made of lots and lots of layers of blankets. And there is leather, the equivalent of a tree in the middle, but it's just made of leather. There's no wood at all. And the top layer of the saddle is fluffy sheepskin. So it's super comfortable, and it you always put the sheepskin on the same way around. So over years, it forms itself to the shape of your leg and your seat. So it all the blankets mold themselves to you, and it's just this perfectly fitting saddle. So that's my new favorite saddle.
Gotcha. So from Great Britain, you started in Spain on this journey, and you speak Spanish, so that obviously helped you a little bit when you got to the country. But what was the big difference between equestrian events in Great Britain and equestrian events in Spain?
Well, firstly, show jumping is king in England, as well as racing, but I haven't experienced any racing yet. Whereas in Spain, I was working with a Doma Vaquera rider and some bullfighters. So the Doma Vaquera is sort of like dressage, but the discipline stems from cattle farming. So it's about having your horse sort of dance in the way that it would, almost like a cutting horse, but when you train, you're completely without cows. So it's like dressage. And then those bullfighters, those horses are so strong and brave and agile. It's a completely different beast to the type of agility that you're coming across in show jumping.
What is your background? Are you in dressage and equestrian events?
Well, I grew up riding. I started riding before I could walk, but I was never competitive. Well, I did little show jumping shows when I was, 15 and under, when I was a little girl. I never did any dressage. But then when I was about 15, I chose my academics, and I decided that my schoolwork was more important than, competing on my horse. So I still rode casually at home, but there isn't any show jumping in Spain. So I didn't show jump since the age of 15, and I just focused on my schoolwork. So that's why the Facebook page and the website and everything is called Out of the Library into the Saddle, because that's really the journey that I'm going on.
And that's fantastic. Out of the library into the saddle. That's the Facebook page. You can check it out, AliceWhaley.com, and it's WHALEY. Ali joining us here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And you've been hanging out about a month in the Sankey Ranch. But so after Spain, where did you go and how did you end up in Montana?
Oh my golly, that's a
loaded question.
How long have you got? So after Spain, I went to Argentina. I was in Patagonia, which is in the south of Argentina. So varied. There's deserts, there's mountains, there's forests. It was amazing. So I was trekking there, met some old cowboys, went to an Argentinian rodeo, which you can see a video of that on my website and Facebook and everything. But yeah, that was completely different from an American rodeo to the extent that I don't even consider the Argentinian one as my first rodeo because it was just a different event. But then I ended up in Montana because when I was working in Uruguay, I met somebody who is a friend of a friend of a friend of the Sankeys. So by a long string of fate and beer and phone calls and emails, I ended up here in Montana.
You told that story the other night, and my first question was, you don't look old enough to drink.
I'm 22.
Oh, so just barely. Okay. But it varies across the world. I mean, you're like 18 in Spain or whatever you have, or 16, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're fine. Ali Whaley joining us here, Jason Walker Show. It is a small world when you think about it. I mean, you know, you're less than 6 steps removed from somebody knowing the Sankeys down in, Patagonia, and you end up in Joliet, Montana. It's a big difference from Argentina to Joliet. How long have you been on the Sankey Ranch?
I've been here for a month, and I leave today.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to be very sad to say goodbye to all these cowboys, to say goodbye to the States. And the next stop is Canada. I'm going to go and train some roping horses, which is going to be hilarious given that I am only just learning how to rope. But I may not know ropes, but I do know horses. So hopefully we'll be good.
How are you going to get into Canada?
Well, I actually have to wait on that for a bit because of COVID. So my plans have been quite interrupted. Luckily, I got to the States just before the world locked down. I booked a flight 12 hours before I got on the plane. I was in New Zealand at the time, hopped on a flight to Houston at no notice at all. And then, and now the Canadian border is closed, so I have to kind of twiddle my thumbs for a minute before I can get into Canada. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, hopefully you can. But if you're stuck at the Sankey Ranch and you have to come back, I'm sure they're okay with that because I'm sure you've been a good hand, right?
I hope so. I went to my first horse branding yesterday, which was pretty exciting.
Oh, nice.
Watch out. In 5 years' time, these little guys are going to be at the NFR. So watch out.
It's not a full-fledged rodeo. I mean, you didn't get to see bull riding. You didn't get to see, barrel racing. But it was still a good time. And I was reading your blog at AliWhaley.com or AliceWhaley.com. But it was funny because you got to do the hide race, it's not easy.
It's not easy. The drive-in rodeo is a fantastic event. I mean, and I'm so pleased that was the first rodeo I ever got to see because, I got to see the whole thing from I mowed the grass where everyone parked their drive cars, right? Like I saw Wade hiring the announcer and to see all of that and then really understand, what goes on behind the chutes and get to hang out with the cowboys there. And still, there's so much ahead of me. Like, I still get to be excited about the first time I see team roping and bull riding and all of those things. I've never even seen barrel racing. So that's something I want to try, too. I don't want to try and get on a bronc. But, the hide race was hard. And my knuckles are actually still bleeding.
Are they really?
But, Ike Sankey asked me if I was a coward, and I told him that I wasn't. So then I had to get on a hide.
Well, and if Ike is the man, Mr. Sankey, he's well beloved in the state of Montana and across the country. There's no doubt about that. What's been the biggest difference for you from food-wise? I mean, obviously, Spain, Uruguay, Patagonia, there's a lot of difference and then you get to Montana.
There is. I've had a lot of discussions with people about what a biscuit is. For us, what you guys call a cookie, we call a biscuit. So when I hear biscuits and gravy, I think cookies and gravy, and it sounds horrifying. But no, the food here is great. I mean, there's a lot of it in America. And I tried my first jalapeno beer over the weekend, which was fantastic. But when I was in Uruguay, I honestly, swear to God, ate nothing but meat and bread for 3 months. Like no vegetables, no fruit, just meat and bread for 3 months. It was it was intense.
That's a little.
And I used to be a vegetarian, so.
Oh well, you're not anymore.
Yeah.
Not when you start this journey. Ali Whaley, our guest here, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. I got some more questions. I mean, I know you're busy, but I could literally talk to you forever about this because, first off, I got to know, reading your blog, who was the cute cowboy?
Oh.
See, you think I didn't do my research. I did.
Okay, I'll give you half a hint. There were 2 cowboys called Tanner at last week's rodeo. It was one of them.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with Hollenbeck because you write a lot about him.
No comment.
See, okay, that is perfect. Ali Whaley, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. It's a great blog, by the way, and I want people to go to alicewhaley.com. How are you financially supporting yourself through all of this? I mean, because you work, but you're getting across the entire world.
Well, this is the thing. So although I work, I put in the hours and I spend a lot of time fixing fences and feeding horses. Like people say that this is a very glamorous lifestyle. It's not as glamorous as I make it out to be. But no, so I work for free and I work just in exchange for the privilege of being able to do what I'm doing and tell the stories and everything. So that's why I'm so grateful to people like Sankey Pro Rodeo for having me in and letting me write about them. And in terms of getting my way around, well, I've worked before and I'll work again. So I've got my savings, and yeah, I live very cheaply because people are so kind and drive me around and look after me. And yeah, so at the moment, nobody's paying me to write, but I'm hoping that with enough good stories, which I strongly believe that I have, this thing will go somewhere.
I have to ask you this. You, for 2 weekends at the drive-in rodeo, during the grand entry, brought in the American flag. As a Brit, what did that mean to you, and how weird, or was it weird at all for you?
What did it mean to me? Gosh, I mean, it was such an honor, but the difficulty for me is that I don't know the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know the words to the American National Anthem. Actually, that's a lie. I now do, because I had to sing the National Anthem at the horse sale in Sheridan last weekend. So,
nice.
But to carry the American flag, like, the flag itself brings tears to the eyes of Americans. And for me, it's a huge honor to be asked to carry it. But I'm not American. So the feeling that I get carrying that flag, I'm so proud and grateful that the Sankey family asked me to carry it at their rodeo that they put on, and had, the faith in me to carry it off, and understand what it meant to people. So for me, carrying the flag is the way that it touches me in my soul is about my friendship with the Sankey family and the honor that they bestowed upon me, rather than a deep love for Old Glory, which I have, but I can never understand what it means to see the flag as an American.
That's you can tell you're a writer because you're well spoken, and that was well said. It does bring a tear to the eye, and with rodeo people, Ali, and I don't know if you've probably heard the stories over the last month of being on the ranch and talking to Wade and some of the other cowboys, but that's a way of life, and especially here in Montana that we haven't had because of COVID, and for various reasons, and to see that flag and to hear Will talk about the flag and to have you bring it in the other day, it was emotional. It was a pretty, it was a cool event, but it was an emotional event at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely was. And what's strange for me is I haven't been home, obviously, during COVID, and I haven't experienced Montana or any of the states outside of COVID. This is my first time in the States. So for me, I can't feel the difference. I can't feel what it's like that this is a rodeo season, but the rodeo season is almost empty except for these Sankey drive-in events. And so hearing the Cowboys talk about what it's meant to be like and what isn't there and all this emptiness that's surrounding this COVID deal, it's very strange for me because I can't feel it, because for me, I'm experiencing Montana for the very first time. And so the fact that nobody's really going out and that a lot of things are closed, I can't even conceptualize it, because to have one drive-in rodeo every other weekend is normal Montana for me.
Right. Ali Whaley joining us here, Jason Walker Show. What's been your favorite part of your trip?
Oh, golly. I must say going to my first rodeo was a giant highlight in the Star-Spangled Banner of this story. But what else? When I was in Colorado, that was the first time I experienced calf brandings. I was working with some cowboys there, the cattle farming type of cowboy rather than the bronc riding type of cowboy.
Right.
And I learned to cut a calf, which was really exciting. And, a challenge. And that's something that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do a year ago while I was still at university. Either that or in Uruguay, I was looking after a herd of 80 horses. And it was my job every morning to go and round them up over, I think we had 600 acres of land or something. And I would take my horse and round up this herd of 80 horses every morning to bring them in to a little pasture that we had to work for the day. That was a special time for me.
You've gotten to work, but you've also got to experience, you've been fishing in a lot of different places. Biggest fish you've caught in so far?
Oh gosh, that must have been at the pond at Ike Sankey's house in Sheridan. Okay. I think I caught a little trout and I learned to gut it and we ate it and it was delicious.
Yeah, fish is really good. But you're not vegetarian anymore, so you can eat whatever you want. All right. So where in Britain are you from?
I'm from Cambridge. But I was born there and I went to university there and my grandmother lived there. But I don't have a house in the UK. My family lives in Spain.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Okay. Well, see, that's something new. I didn't know that. That's great. You just hear, I'm from Great Britain. Ali Whaley joining us. You hope to have a book when it's all said and done. And I think that's awesome. And I hope that I get to read it. And I would love to have you back on when the book's out.
I would love to come back on when the book's out. And I believe with my entire soul that I'm not hoping to have a book. I will have a book. I've got stories to tell coming out of my ears because I've met such fantastic, hilarious, and wonderfully talented horsemen all over the world. And I can't wait to bring those cultures to anyone who's interested in either horses or people or travel everywhere.
Did I see you a couple weeks ago singing at the campfire? Were you playing guitar too?
I was playing the ukulele, yes.
Oh, okay, ukulele. Well, I was a dark pitcher. You're very talented. What can you not do?
I can't down a beer, and that's what we learned at the beginning of the hike race.
You just shotgun it. You stab it, you shotgun it, and it goes real quick then.
Actually, at last week's drive-in rodeo, the Cowboys were trying to teach me how to shotgun. No one told me that I had to swallow the beer. It was a disaster.
So are you not a beer fan? What's your drink of choice?
Oh, I am a beer fan. I can't drink them at speed. But I'm a Guinness drinker, and I have been appalled by the standard of Guinness in the States. I bought some to try and remind me of home, and it just made it worse.
It's not the same?
It's not the same.
So have you been to the Guinness, the tour over, Ireland?
No, I haven't, but my best friend's a descendant of Mr. Guinness himself, so I feel like I've got my Guinness ties sorted.
I like that. See, my family is from Scotland, so I don't know if we're supposed to like each other going back over the years. But history has a way of healing wounds, right? And I cannot wait to read more of your stuff. I'm going to sign up and become a subscriber on your page, alicewhaley.com. Give me your Instagram and also, your Facebook again?
So my Instagram is Ali Whaley, AliWhaley, Ali Whaley. And the Facebook page is Out of the Library, Into the Saddle. And the website you can also get to by Googling Out of the Library, Into the Saddle.
It is fantastic. I'm so glad I had the pleasure to meet you the other night and have you on the show because, like I said, the stories, I'm going to be following you and stay in touch. If you can't get to Canada, you can come hang out in Helena for a little bit. But, okay, so who are you going to hang out with in Canada real quick?
I'm going to work for Pattern Rope Horses.
Okay.
Who I'm very excited about. So this is the way that the story goes. It keeps rolling on. So I was at a branding in Colorado and I spoke to someone and I said, yeah, I'm looking for a job in Canada. Haven't found anything yet. And he's like, oh, I've got a friend who trains roping horses in Canada. Want to go work for them? So off I go. And, it just keeps going on like that.
Stay away from the Keystone Light. I saw that in one of your pictures. Keystone Light is bad.
Not a fan.
That's like drinking water, Ali. Come on. And you're a Guinness drinker, so you got to have something a little heavier. Hey, safe travels. Stay in touch, please, because do you just change your phone number or do you change your... are you getting new phones in every place you go to?
No, I was moving a bull across the high plains desert in Colorado, and the bull started dodging out of the way, and I ran after it, and in the process lost my phone. So that's how I've ended up a fully fledged American citizen with a phone number to match.
I gotcha. I love it. Stay in touch. I'm going to save this number. I want you to stay in touch. I want you to come on anytime you want. If you have a story to tell, you're a friend of the show now, so you can literally come on anytime. Just text me and go, Jason, I want to talk. And I'm like, okay, I'll put you on.
Fantastic.
That's how we roll here in Montana, my friend.
It's a fantastic state.
It is. Take care. Pleasure meeting you. Enjoy the travels, like I said. Safe travels, and stay in touch.
I will. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on the show.
Ali Whaley, man, she was fun. And just traveling the world. She's 22 and traveling the world. Super cool. We wish her the best. And just saw this too. Good luck getting to Canada, Ali. I think you're going to be stuck in the States for a while. The U.S. and Canada border restrictions extended until July 21st. So hopefully you can get across. Take a break. We'll come back, and we got something about baseball. We have some final thoughts. We have the walk-off. We have On This Day in History. We have much more still to come here on The Jason Walker Show. Don't move.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta Eye Comfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a Tuesday. So much fun talking to Ali Whaley. AliceWhaley.com. Give her a follow. It's good stuff. Out of the library into the saddle on Facebook. All of our guests join us courtesy of the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Make sure you get a hold of Mike for all your home and auto insurance today. This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. If you book your senior portrait or your family portraits or anything through Mark, you'll get a free 8x10 matte or canvas print. In addition, if you buy and purchase anything from Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery and Mark LaRoe Photography, he'll give you 20% off just by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. All right, so this is, we've been saying this for a while, but it appears as if Major League Baseball is not going to happen. Why? Well, according to SNY's Andy Martino, and there are 6 owners at least who don't want to have a 2020 season. Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic quoted a player agent who said, quote, "There are definitely more than 8 owners who don't want to play," end quote. So it appears that I know I'm putting both the blame on the owners and the players because they both deserve it, because they're both morons with the way they're negotiating and with what's going on across the country. But let's say that there are 6 or 7 owners who are taking this anti-season approach. That's one thing, okay? Now, if there's 8 or more, they could, in theory, shut down the season because Commissioner Rob Manfred needs clearance from at least 75% of the league's owners to impose a schedule. Which then, if the players, strike, lock out, or get locked out, whatever, but then it's on the players. Right now, the players have some leverage, and it's on the owners. But something to think about when there's no baseball this year. Who to blame? Mike Gundy apologized today for wearing an OAN shirt, which is interesting. One American News. His lack of awareness in his 1 minute little scripted apology today was kind of curious because one guy at OAN called out Black Lives Matter, saying that it was, basically a hoax. One person, a columnist. But in the past, Gundy has talked about his fondness for the network. I brought him up in May with a conference call, touted how they presented the news in a way he found appealing, calling it, quote, refreshing, adding that they report the news, there's no commentary, no opinions, no left, no right. But, and Gundy apologized for wearing an OAN shirt. This is a CNN shirt. It's not a topic of conversation. But anyway, let's get to On This Day in History. It is brought to you by our good friends at the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. Yes, there are sports to bet on. And yes, you can go bet on them at the Motherlode. You can also grab a great lunch or breakfast or dinner. On this date, it is June the 16th. It is National Fudge Day. 1909, Jim Thorpe made his pro baseball pitching debut for Rocky Mount for the East Coast League. This would cause him to forfeit his Olympic golds. 1946, at the U.S. Men's Golf Open, World War II vet Lloyd Mangrum defeated two others, including Byron Nelson, in a 36-hole playoff to win his only major. 1951, Ben Hogan won his second consecutive U.S. Open. 1968, Lee Trevino won his first major at the U.S. Open. 1978, Cincinnati Red pitcher Tom Seaver, no-hitter against St. Louis. 1984, Edwin Moses won his 100th consecutive 400-meter hurdle race. 1995, Andre Dawson, then with the Marlins, hit his 400th career home run. He finished with 429. A year ago, Gary Woodland won the U.S. Open, beating defending champ Brooks Koepka by 3. Happy birthday to old Tom Morris, born in 1821. He won the British Open in 1861, 62, 64, and 67. Born in St. Andrews, the home of golf. It is Geronimo's birthday, born in 1829. Geronimo, the famous Apache leader, was born in Mexico. 1951, Roberto Duran was born, four-weight world champion out of Panama. It is Phil Mickelson's birthday today. He is 50. Happy birthday to Phil, the 5-time major winner, 3-time master winner. A couple of deaths on this date. 1970, Brian Piccolo passed away. Brian's song. The original movie is the best. The new one was terrible. But Brian Piccolo died on this date in 1970. Tony Gwynn passed away 6 years ago from cancer at the age of 54, mouth cancer, in 2014. A couple of other interesting notes here. On this date in 1882, 17-inch hailstones that weighed almost 2 pounds fell in Dubuque, Iowa. 1884, the first roller coaster was used at Coney Island. 1903, Pepsi-Cola Company formed. 1960, on this date, Psycho came out. 1992, The Longest Salami, 68 feet 9 inches, weighed 1,492 pounds and 5 ounces in Fleckfjord, Norway. The longest salami, just about 69 feet. 2015, on this date, Donald Trump launched his campaign for U.S. president. And he won. And now we have COVID, but not because of Donald Trump. Now we're stuck in our homes, but not because of Donald Trump. Now we can't have rodeos, but not because of Donald Trump. That was On This Day in History. Let's get to this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off. Great chat today with Ali Whaley.
Sweet young lady traveling the globe. AliceWhaley.com. Check it out. Tomorrow, in the Major Mortgage Man Cave, Sheila Williams, newly retired track coach for Helena High, will sit with us and chat for a while about her great career. And who knows what else tomorrow on a Hump Day Wednesday. Have fun. Have a great Tuesday night. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.